Well, hello all my friends out there in YouTube land. It is, what is it? It's 11:19 p.m. on the 17th of May. And it's about a week since I've done this. And I'm frustrated. There's a particular thing that really got me on here. I've got my cue cards. Got quite a bit on my cue cards, in fact, a whole bunch of stuff. But there's one thing that really chapped me. Now, those of you that watched my tapes, I'm a Mopar guy. Mopar, no car. I'm so dead solid Mopar that I went up and bought a Kia 2 years ago. But, I still like them. And we have a Chrysler Town and Country extended van that it's nice. Nice car. It's an 05. It's an 05. Is that right? Yeah, it is an 05. That's right. Got 160,000 miles on it, and we've had it since it was 1 year old. I think we bought it with about 25,000 on it. But a good car. I mean, it's got us where we wanted to go. It's not exactly a eco car. It gets around 18 around town, 22 on the highway, but it's been a good automobile. Rides good, drives good. Here recently we had new struts and shocks put on it, which I guess they figure, I don't know, if you want to drive a Chrysler, you might as well stand the fare, because it was a little more money than what I thought it was going to be. We also put new headlight bezels in it, and once again that was a little more than I thought it was going to be. But just for general serviceability, fine car. Really has been good. But let me show you something here that's happened. I have a picture of my Town and Country here. There it is, yeah. Sneak around here. If you'll observe, of course, you got the front end of the car, it's kind of round. This car saved Chrysler Corporation. Chrysler's had several cars that have saved them over the years. This is one of them, the minivan. If you notice you got a, front end here, white, plastic. They outsourced it to Mattel, but that's, it's, I guess, high grade plastic. You got a grill, and right at the top of the grill, you got this little chrome set of wings. It's an access thing. It's got a Chrysler medallion in the middle of it, and it just kind of highlights the front end of the car. Car is now 9 years old. Well, this chromy looking thing that you see here in this picture is probably 5-6 years old. But you see that shiny stuff across the top there. Well, this is what that shiny thing's turned into. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah. There's black stuff. It's plastic, of course. Back's plastic. It's a piece of plastic. Long. Over here, let me see. Yeah. Over here on the top edge, there isn't any chrome left at all. You can see it really looks shoddy. Now there is a Chrysler medallion that fits in there, and it's okay. I popped it out of there. And this thing attaches to the front of that car, little snap things here. That's all. Just, walk up front of the car, snap it on. You would think now that Chrysler would have a plethora of these little puppies, because obviously I'm not the only person to experience this kind of deterioration. It's cosmetic. But when the front of the car is supposed to have this big, beautiful chrome accent winged thing on the front of it, and it turns to garbage. Actually, the car looks better without it on there. I took it off because it looks shoddy. But I said, I'll get another one. Well, let me tell you, this has been a fiasco. One of the things, the problem is that Chrysler must make about 60 different versions and sizes of this little darling. I called the Chrysler house down here in the area where we live, and they won't sell you just this. See, just Snap-on. Nope. Yeah, you know, you just go in there. You figure. I see items of this type, Chrysler items, winged logos, for anywhere from $35 to $72. Hey, pretty good deal. Okay, I'll get down to Dodge House, get a new one. That's what we have here. Technically, it's Dodge House, but they handle Chryslers and they handle Chrysler stuff. Well, they they said, "Oh, we can't do that. No, we don't sell it that way. We have to sell you this whole assembly. You see the black stuff there? That's the grill. And of course, this modeled out, yucky looking thing across the top, it comes with the grill. They won't sell you that thing separately. And they want between $300 and $500 for the grill. I've got a $35 to $75 piece here, and I can't get the Chrysler house to sell it from me. They want to sell me something. I said it was $500. That was the price they were quoting. I have had a couple other ones in the high threes and the mid fours, but this is only max. This is less than $100. It just snaps in. I don't have any problem with the grill. No problem with the grill. Nobody wants to sell it. They got these little snappy things on the back, little plastic, just goes right in. So I get on the web and I find a place. Oh, what's the name of those guys? Prez Parts or some such thing as that. I go 05 Town and Country, front end wing ID thingamabip. Sure enough, they sent me one, $42. I get the thing, and I take it out of the, I got a box out here. I mean, this box is like this long, this long, this high, this wide, full of bubble wrap. With this little skinny thing in it. That's all there was. Anyway, it's $42. Came in. Went out there to put it on the car. What do you think? Wrong item. Wouldn't fit. Well, hey, $42. I'll call them up. Maybe they'll send me a return postage thingamabob, and I'll send it back to them. Get my money back. Said on there, money back guarantee. Well, they said, no, we don't do that. We don't send a return postage. You'll have to mail it yourself. So it came UPS. Now, I live 65, 70 miles from the nearest UPS office. They run out here every day and drop stuff off. But they either come out of Waco, which is 45, 50 miles away, or they come out of Fort Worth, which is where the office is up there. I'm guessing at least 65 miles. So I call up UPS and I said, I need you to make a pickup. Oh, we can do that. They wanted $82. Now I got a $42 item, and they want $82 to come by here and pick it up. So I got a paperweight in the other room. No, I still love my Mopars. They've been good vehicles. But that little doolally right there, and I have to assume any other little doolally on my high dollar town and country is really going to be a pain to find. I've called wrecking yards. Evidently, the vehicles don't break or go to the wrecking yards very often, because I called at least a dozen today and none of them had that vehicle. Now, Chrysler has sold, I want to say, millions of these, maybe not the town and country, but the Dodge Caravan and the town and country is essentially the same vehicle except for just some cosmetics, and they have sold a bloody ton of those things. Kept Chrysler going through the bad times. But I'm going to be running around with a undecorated grill because I can't find that silly thing. And I'm mad. Make me want to go out and buy a Chevrolet. I doubt if they have many and varied, front end Chevrolets, front end of Chevrolet. Of course, I thought front end of a town and country was the front end of a town and country. Ain't so. Almost every year they reposition that little darling, or they make it bigger or smaller, but it ain't never the same. Anyway, I'm mad. Can't, the car, it's no less of a car without that thing on there. But my darling wife, Tiana, she's upset. She wants her shiny chrome strip back on there. I told her, I said, I think it looks better without that nasty looking thing. And I think I'm right about that. Anyway, my Mopar guys have got me in a box here. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me see. Oh, yeah. This room that I sat in, this is my man cave. I got my radio in here, and of course I do my thing in here. Usually keep the door closed. Well, I left the door open. We have some cats, Pharaoh cats. Some of them are nice and domesticated, and other ones, just don't touch me. Well, evidently some of the ones came in here about 4 days ago, and it smelled like Pepe Le Pew had been in here. Lord almighty. I never thought much about Febreze. Let me tell you something, it could be a lifesaver. Whew. In fact, I think the little darlings came in and did it 2 nights in a row. And the first night I tried to tough it out. Second night it just, we're not a Febreze kind of family. I didn't even know we had it. Generally speaking, we stay clean enough that we don't have to spray this stuff around to cover up the odors. But Ma had it out there. Tiana had it out under the kitchen sink. I'm in here gagging and choking on cat spray, and she says, "Here, try this." Stuff doesn't do bad. I mean, it didn't just knock it right out, but I'll recommend it to anybody. You get a double dose of cat spray in your man cave, Febreze works. Anyway, what else we got? Yeah, why, my son Kyle, and I'm sure he'll watch this. Last weekend he came down and spent the weekend with his Mother's Day. He spent part of 3 days and 2 nights, 2 nights and 3 days. We watched a motion picture called Undercurrent, and it was good. I recommend it. If anybody out there in my friendly group wants a motion picture that is entertaining, kind of keep you on the edge of the seat, watch it. It's about 2 brothers and one of the brothers' kids. And one of the 2 brothers was in the pen, and he came home, and then the trouble started. That's all I'm going to tell you. Good movie. Called Undercurrent. Recommended. Highly. Let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah, rained on Monday. Good rain. Down 2-3 inches. Yeah. Rained a lot. It was good. My weeds are really flourishing. This past year, I went down to, I might have told you this. I went down to a tractor store here in town, and they had some 5, 10, 15 fertilizer is in white bags with black print on it. I bought about $100 worth of that stuff. This was last year. I got one of these dispensers I can pull behind my garden tractor, and I go out there and I dispense the stuff out. We have a thing called sheep's head burrs, and they're terrible. They get in Gypsy's coat. I mean, they're just crunchy. Well, anyway, this stuff took them out. Well, that's been a year ago. So here, I don't know, a month or so back, I went back. I took one of the bags of the stuff with me because I memory in what it once was, and walked in there and said, "Hey, I want some more of this." And they said, "Oh, we don't have any more of that. That was on clearance. All we got's this over here." Well, this over here was about twice as much. And I had to make 2 trips because part of what they sold me had gotten wet and it was like sackcrete. It wouldn't go out of the dispenser, but they were kind. I went back down with the chunky fertilizer and they gave me some that was good. But anyway, I dispensed about another $100 worth of it. This stuff is, I don't want to say it's garbage, but those little sheep's head burrs, they really thriving on that crap, where the other stuff in the little white bag just killed them. This and here, nothing. Man, I got a yard full of this stuff, so I don't know. Maybe I hate to think I'd have to spend any more money. But when Gypsy goes out in the yard, she comes back. She looks like she's been there a porcupine. I mean, the thing, she's all covered up with those things. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is not funny. State of Oklahoma executed a guy, I think last week, and they put the syringe in him and plunged her down. It didn't work. This guy's lying on the strap to the gurney, flopping around for about 45 minutes. Somebody can correct me if that's it. But anyway, he finally died of a heart attack. Whatever it was that they had injected him with, put him in such a turmoil and such a mess that, he died from a heart attack. They got him dead, but he died from a heart attack. So Oklahoma said, boy, I got some bad press out of that. We're going to have to put a moratorium on our executions. One of the problems they're having is that the drugs that they used to use for lethal injection came out of Europe. And I don't know if all, but I think all of the European nations have outlawed, what do you call it, execution, death sentence. So they don't produce the drugs anymore, and they won't ship it to the United States, so we don't have those drugs that really get them. Well, the guys in Oklahoma said, we gotta put a moratorium on this till we find a better way. Texas, nah. So we've been using. We've got 33 of them down, work like a champ. They're going down like flies, so we ain't stopping. Now, actually, there was a guy, I think, that was supposed to be executed last week on Wednesday, and they gave him a stay. And they gave some lame excuse that his IQ wasn't old enough or high enough to kill him. You believe that? You know, if you don't have a high enough IQ, you can do anything, and you know they won't execute you. Now, you got to understand. Personally, I don't believe in the death sentence because there's been too many people that they have turned out that you know they killed them, and then after they got them dead, either fairly soon afterwards or years later, they discovered that they didn't do it. Well, they were still dead. So, with that in mind, I'm not for the death sentence. I'm for life. I'm for life. You know, put them on an island up in the Aleutians or something. But at least if in the future you discover you made a mistake, then you know you still got them alive. You can turn them loose, and that is happening, particularly since DNA verification has been coming in. That's been happening kind of more and more. So anyway. Texas is not gonna, they say. We getting them. We got them. Stuff we got kills them. So we're just gonna keep on doing it. Good attitude. Had a fiasco at the, I can't read that. Why can't I read my own writing? I mean, why? My hand is not too crippled. Why can't I read my own writing? Oh, I had my I can read it now. I had my biannual physical at the VA. I go in the spring and I go in the fall, and I always go just before I go to Siegel North. So if there's anything, you know, drastically wrong, then we can either cancel Siegel North or we'll at least know that's wrong. You know, I got a pretty good bill of health. I mean, you know, about the same as last time. Got to get another one in 6 months. Anyway, I'm set for the trip to Siegel North health-wise. Anyway, we'll be off on the 7th actually. Last dialysis session here will be on the 6th, and then it's northward bound. Oh yeah, I've got one. Commercials. You know, when I was young, it seemed to me that at least some of the commercials that were on the air, actually as a group, the commercials say in the 50s and the 60s, they had a little class. I've watched on the YouTube. I'm a YouTube fanatic. I go in there and I watch old automobile ads. And they actually ballyhoo the benefits of, you know, the particular car. They ride better, they get better mileage, they have a more rigid frame. I mean, commercials now, I want to say that as a nation we've dumbed down so much that the demographics that commercials are aiming at, someplace between 5th and 8th graders. I mean, that's what they would have been in my time. And I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Culligan soft water, but particularly here in Texas, boy, they need it. It's a service. They bring out tanks with chemicals and salts, and it can take really putrid water and make it clean. And coincidentally, my dad, when I was a young man, besides being sheriff, he was a proprietor, owned. I think they were fiddle. What do they call them? Not contracts, but anyway, he was a proprietor of a softwater company, Culligan Softwater, S&W. The S stood for Siegel, and the W stood for Wise. That was my dad was Mr. Siegel, and the other gentleman that was the co-owner was Mr. Wise, which if you'd use the abbreviation S&W Softwater, and that pretty neat, fell right in. Anyway, they had a commercial, and I'm going to try to do it. And it was on in the 50s and the early 60s. And it was a little ditty It was a song. I don't know if I can sing this well or not. Once upon a time, I used to be able to sing pretty good, but don't laugh at me too much. Anyway, S&W Soft Water, their commercial. La la la. Culligan Soft Water Service. Culligan brings it right to your home. Culligan. That's Culligan. A little ditty. Like, of course, they had that little trio of females that sang it. It was a lot better, but that's the idea. It appealed to, I think, not my version, but it appealed maybe to people that had a little more money and they could afford to have you come by and change out the tanks and whatnot. Well, Culligan now, they have it here locally. And they got this real nasal sounding female voice that says, "Hey, Culligan man!" That's it. I mean, they'll have a little narrative, pushing their service. And then at the end, this little screechy, nasal sounding voice says, "Hey, Culligan man!" God, who thought of that? I mean, what advertising agency did they go to? Come up with, "Hey, Culligan man!" Anyway, advertising's gone in the tank. Let me see what we got. Oh yeah, Obama. Now, you folks know that I'm a hard-shelled Democrat. Grew up in a Republican household, though. Dear old dad and his S&W Soft Water Service, along with being a sheriff, he was a Republican. Hardcore. Grew up, got away from home, got away from all that horsepower. Get out in the laboring world, found it. Democrat. Well, still a Democrat. Voted for Obama both times. You've heard me go through this time after time. But I'm really, really ticked at the man. Excuse my vernacular, but he is screwing up so bad. Now, I don't have a problem with the Affordable Care Act. I think that was a good idea. But he has gutted NASA. I mean, NASA's a domino club. I don't know what those guys are doing down there. They're not preparing to go to Mars or back to the moon or anything. They're just nothing. I mean, they're sending little probes out, but as any really ongoing dramatic objective, nothing. He's cut the funding off. Now I understand that he is going to cut back the military to pre-World War II numbers, or boots on the ground, so to speak. Pre-World War II. You remember what that got us the last time we did that? And we're not going to have near as much time to get our, excuse my language, shit together this time as when the Japanese hit Pearl Harbor. I mean, it'll just be blotto, I mean, ICBMs, I mean, that's the war. Hey, they nuke us, we nuke them, And then, of course, we evidently go to fighting on the ground. I looked up the list. Russians got 24,000 tanks. That's just them. That's not them and the Chinese. That's just them. We've got 9,000. Our standing army. Now, actually, I keep reading. I go on YouTube and it says we are the strongest military in the world. Stronger than all these others combined, which I don't know when I read these figures about how many boots on the ground the Chinese have and how many boots on the ground the Russians have and how many tanks they have and how many planes they have. You got to have something really miraculous because we're up against some tough people. And in this environment, with the whole Arab world wanting to cut our heads off with a rusty knife, my president that I voted for is cutting back on military spending and cutting back on the dimensions of our military capabilities to where, he's scaring me. And I'm about half smart. I think I'm kind of semi-aware of geopolitical thing, world situation and whatnot. We can't afford as a nation not to be the preeminent military power in the world. We just can't afford to. Because in general, in a lot of cases, the rest of the world just doesn't like us. If they perceive we're weak enough, they'll just kick our butts. So, Mr. Obama, you got 2 years to go. 2 years and a bit. And I'm getting to the point where I can't wait until you get out of there. I mean, bless your heart, I know you're a constitutional professor. He taught constitutional law at Columbia University, so the man knows what his duties are. And, as commander-in-chief, he's supposed to see to it that we are the preeminent, force in the world. From what I understand he's doing, that's not the way we'll be. And we can't afford to be in that kind of shape. So, run, Hillary, run, for crying out loud. I'm assuming Hillary, Hillary's a tough old broad. She's going to be like Thatcher in England. They can call her the Iron Lady, because she is. I guarantee you she is. Anyway, yeah. The man's driving me nuts. I had a thing here, a dog attacking child. I'm sure you all saw it. It was on all the network news. Little babies out there, little boy, I think he was 4. And I think it was a pit bull. And the pit bull goes around the car and grabs him and drags him down, and he's pulling the kid around. And the kid had a cat. I'm assuming it's a male cat, because this cat came out of there's a camera taking a picture of this goings on, and this dog is just dragging this kid around. And this cat comes flying into the picture and hangs on that dog and gives him a mauling. And of course the dog can't get away from him fast enough to suit him. I mean, you put a cat and a dog that are anywhere near the same size, the dog ain't got a chance. And that dog knew it, because he couldn't get away fast enough to suit him. And I was under the misconception that there was an individual who was actually taking this video. And I asked the question, I got a kid over here on the ground, and I got a dog attacking him, really putting a mauling on him. Somebody's over there videoing. I said, why didn't you throw the camera down? What is he doing videoing? Throw the camera down, go over and kick the snot out of that dog. I mean, I know it makes for good video, but do that. So I got a friend down at the dialysis clinic I went in, and I posed this question to him, and he said, oh, by the way, he said that was a security camera mounted on a building that was taking it. My whole theory went in the tank. But I don't know for a fact that was taken by a security camera. I hope it was. But if it wasn't, if it was an individual with a camera that was going, boy, this is good stuff, throw the camera down, go save the kid. Don't wait for a cat to come in. Anyway, that's it. That's about a week's worth. I think it was last week that I did this. Anybody got one of these laying around the garage? I need it. I'd almost pay anything. Not really. But this has been a terrible source of frustration. This thing make you want to go out and buy a Pope Toledo. As you would think. I'll bet you at least in 2005 that they probably produced, let's say 500,000, 500,000 across the town and countries. They produced a lot. Might have been more than that. And they all had one of these doodads on it. And they were all the same. Every damn one of them. Now you'd think that they would provide replacement parts for anything that was sold in that volume, but you try and get one. Anywho, I gotta do something with that thing. Put it over there. That's my gripe for the day. I've griped enough. I got all my cue cards read. Well, let me see here. Yeah, whoops, that's not it. Where did my little... I have lost. I have just flat out lost. No, I haven't. Let me have. There it is. Got it. Yeah, Johnson Barty. Be leaving out of here in 3 weeks, be up there in 4 weeks. Takes a week to get there. So I'll see you there. Cooter, Mr. Taro, Brian. I'm going to pull back on that little exploration thing that I asked you about. You know, go out to wrecking yards, because I called wrecking yards, and either they've crushed all the 05 town and countries that ever came in, or they don't break that much, because I didn't find a wrecking yard one that had that vehicle. Crystal, hope you do well. Be sure and check on my needles. I need to know, because I'm getting close, and I don't know how long it'll take me to get a supply if I have to pick them up myself. Kyle and Carl. Kyle, thank you for coming by this weekend. I enjoyed it greatly. Tracy, top of the day to you. I really pulled a good one here, bitching about my Chrysler products, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Heitzenrader, Richard Heitzenrader, world's foremost authority on Wesleyanism. They presented him with a doctorate at SMU University today. Yeah, I thought about trying to get over there, but I tried to look on the web to see where the facility was that they were making a presentation. It said public invited, but I'd have spent a long time trying to figure out where that was at. So my greetings, congratulations, sir. I didn't hear you on the radio, guy. Maybe you didn't get to it. Daryl Mackey. Haven't talked to David yet. I did talk to Mary Berger. Merle wasn't there. And David's home. And Merle's been hauling him around. David's in good humor. Seems to be, I don't say physically fit, but he seems to be in remission. That's good. Carl and Bradford. Top of the day, guy. Hope your dad's doing good. Jim Kersey. As I understand it, you coming up this year. Buy you a steak. Ray Marshall. That's in Ridgeway. That's my new person on here. Top of the day to you. And anybody that's got an answer to my dilemma with this piece of trim, I appreciate suggestions, because I spent all day today on the phone, and on it was a Saturday. So some of the parts houses weren't open. I'm going to get into it again on Tuesday, because I got dialysis on Monday. But I think what I'm going to do is that one that I got from Pick a Parts or whatever it was that I can't send back. They want $80 to send the thing back. I'm going to put that thing on eBay. Take a picture of it. Put it on eBay. I've got an account. Put about that thing there was $42. I think I'm going to try to recoup. I'll put about a $52 price on it, and maybe some fool will buy it from me. Problem is, I don't know what it fits. It doesn't fit my 05, and I don't know what it does fit. So if I put on there that, front medallion for an 05 and they get it, they're going to be just as mad as me. So I don't guess I'll do that either. Anyway. I'll try to get on here in another week. Have more to gripe about. Appreciate it out there, you folks up there at Siegel North. I hope you don't get washed away. Man, I've seen some terrible flooding. Terrible flooding. I mean, it has been raining. Save me a seat.